In this series, Andy and I drive from Hermanus, near the southernmost tip of Africa, to northern Botswana, where we visit Kwai Community Area, Maremi Game Reserve, and Ngaipan National Park.
Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
We decided to take a break from the driving and go on a guided safari in one of their open vehicles. The Batete was dry with only a few pools of water, but the bird life was still fantastic and there were quite a few elephants and other animals in the area. Unfortunately, the large zebra herds we were looking for had not yet reached this area, so we headed out across the Makgadikgadi National Park, hoping to find them. As we travelled east, the bush opened out into seemingly endless grasslands. These plains and the pans themselves are the remnants of a prehistoric lake that once covered an area larger than Switzerland, but dried up tens of thousands of years ago. Makgadikgadi means the waterless place, and the animals that live here must survive without drinking for most of the year. We saw ostrich, red hartebeest, ground squirrel, and a secretary bird, but still no zebras. We had planned to camp at Tree Island, but decided rather to head north to Ngaipan National Park in the hope of finding the large zebra herds. So we left the park near Gweta and travelled west along the tar road to the entrance gates. The road into Ngaipan is very sandy, but was easygoing because of the rain a few nights before. On our way in, we started seeing small herds of zebra heading in the same direction as us, and an elephant decided it would be fun to make us reverse for a few kilometers. We set up camp under the trees at South Camp. For some reason, the hornbills here have developed a taste for the rubber on windscreen wipers. We tried putting aluminium foil around them, but it didn't help much. After setting up camp, we took a drive to the main waterhole. The roads were still quite wet, and my stock tires were quickly coated in sticky mud, making for some slippery driving. One disadvantage of the wet season is that the animals have easy access to water, so they don't congregate as much at the waterholes. Since we had run out of pre-cooked meals by this point, we started cooking over the fire. A black-backed jackal waited just outside the firelight in the hope of stealing some scraps. There were lots of bugs around at night. Some were friendly, some not so friendly. very happy to find large herds of zebra in the area, with more arriving each day. Each year, tens of thousands of zebra migrate from northern Botswana in the Chobe National Park down to the Makgadikgadi Pans and Naipan National Parks. After 4 nights at South Camp, it was time to leave, so we headed back towards the gate, only to meet another elephant. This time we reversed for over half an hour. On our way out of the park, we took the detour to visit Bain's Baobabs. With water on many of the pans, the views here were spectacular. We're guessing here, but we reckon this fillet is now perfect. Okay. I think it is good.
Hope it's not over.
I hope so too. It's perfect.
Pink and delicious.
Wonderful. We nearly forgot the salad, which is cucumber. And there we have it.
Okay, chow time.
Yeah. Kind of bad. Yeah, I'm sure he gets fed a lot. But that doesn't mean we have to.
Oh, sorry there.
The great thing about Naipan in the dry season is there is almost always activity at the main waterhole, which is very near the campsite. So rather than driving around all day looking for animals, you can sit at the waterhole and wait for the animals to come to you. So tonight we are reheating the leftovers in tin foil on the fire, and tomorrow we leave, start heading home. After our drive, we return to camp to pack up, but our friendly neighborhood elephant is having none of it. Eventually he moves off, so we pack up the tent, drive back along the long sandy road back to the gate, pump up the tires, unlock the hubs, and start the long journey home. We're nearly at the border now. We got our COVID test up in Mound 3 days ago. You have, after getting the test, you have 72 hours to cross the border. It has now been 71 hours and 5 minutes, so we're cutting it pretty tight, and all the cows in the road aren't helping, but we should make it, and then we're back in South Africa. Trucks are blocking the road, so we're having to drive a bit up on the edge to... Ooh, this is tight. Seems the border is closed, so we have to wait, and hopefully it opens again before our tests expire. So security says there's a COVID case, so they've shut down the border. Maybe it'll open at 11, maybe it'll open at 11:30, but we don't really have much choice other than to wait, because the next border post is, I think, an hour south of here, so then we'll be too late. At least here we've got a decent excuse if we're more than 72 hours after our test, so we chill. 14 minutes past 11. Our COVID tests were done 3 days ago at 11:27, so that's 13 minutes. That means we have 13 minutes remaining in our 72-hour period in order to cross the border. It's 11:45. We're just past 72 hours, so now we are relying on them being lenient with us as we go across. Shouldn't be a problem. Since the border was closed, there wasn't much else we could do. One of the issues with shooting 6K, 8K, 12K footage is you burn through a huge amount of data, especially on the Blackmagic Ursa, because it doesn't have pre-record. So often I'm recording while waiting for something to happen, and yeah, the files are not small. Each of these little tabs, I use these to show that I have finished copying a card, and each one represents either a terabyte or half a terabyte of data. So I think on this short trip I have filmed roughly 15 terabytes of footage, which I can probably cut down to about 10 if I take the time. Something is happening. The trucks are driving up the sidewalk. Okay, it's 12:05 and now they say the border will only open at 2 p.m. So we're going to head back towards Gaborone, cut south to the next border. Okay, this border is closed, so we keep going to Lobatsi and through the Pioneer border post, hopefully. The border post is closed, so we're heading to Lobatsi, which is only another 60 or 70 kilometers away. Unfortunately, we're doing that at 18 kilometers an hour behind the truck. This is now border attempt number 3 this morning. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, we are out of Botswana, but we have not yet entered South Africa. We're arriving at the South African border post now. It seems they are in the process of shutting this border post down as well, because they're turning cars away behind us. We made it in the nick of time. Okay, it looks like we've made it through, even though our results were expired. Luckily they were emailed to me, so I could open the PDF on my phone and zoom it such that the time of collection of the sample was not visible, and they were in a rush because they're shutting down the border, so they just let us through. Now we are in South Africa. Got a short 1400 kilometer drive home, and then we're back at home with the family. So I think this is the end of this video.